Hello everyone, Mihaela here. Thank you for joining me today. It was the final class of our Core Stability course, and it's the final class is always a very focused practice because we're layering step by step everything that we've covered in the 5 weeks. So we started today with activating our lines of force, activating our center of gravity, and tapping into our energetic center. And during the centering, I got you to really notice the different sides of the body, but also the different stages of the breath. So we move from the body, moving around the center of gravity in that beautiful tone and release. The body naturally wanting to share the load, the body naturally wanting to release and to strengthen at the same time. So it's a beautiful feeling to feel spontaneously. And also it's a very powerful place to be in, because if you're toning and releasing constantly, you're constantly in your strength, but also you're able to release and create space for tone to kick back in again. So if you're constantly holding that tone, you know, it'll be like pouring water into a glass that's already full. So there's no more water to pour in, but you know, it's like you're drinking it, you're feeding your body, and then you're releasing it, and then you're tapping into the tone again. So it's in the physical practice, it's great to be in that space, because you're giving your body time to strengthen, but also to, I won't say relax, I will say release, because it's releasing the tension in the muscle fibers and in the joints. So we're not relaxing, because generally that's associated to collapsing. So we're not collapsing, we're toning, and then we're actively releasing. So toning is contracting, and then actively releasing is elongating, extending. So we're making space, and it's that release that helps us make space. So we activated the lines of force around the center of gravity, and then we did that when we were centering, but we also brought it in mountain. As we were going through our postures, the first one was mountain, and I got you to push back through the knees. So again, we're not collapsing backwards, we're not disengaging. You know, you're looking at my pelvis and it's not level. On the contrary, we're starting with the knees bent, and then we're pressing back through the knees, we're lifting through the kneecaps, lifting through the thighs, tailbone goes down. So it's a power pose for the legs. Legs are fully engaged. And then we did the same for the arms. So that's 2 lines of force of the legs, 2 lines of force of the arms, and that allows the spine to lengthen. So that lengthening of the spine happens when we're keeping the shoulders open, we're keeping the hips open, but also we're breathing along it. So we tapped into our lines of force, and then we tapped into our breath. And into our breath, we went right at the energetic center. The pause at the end of the exhale. And that's a beautiful pause to be in, because it's a pause where we're coming to a moment of stillness, and in that stillness, our senses heighten, we become aware, we become more present. It's a state of calmness, but of alert calmness. So if something is happening around us, we see it. If something is happening within us, we see it too. So in that state of stillness, we become more sensitive in the way we perceive things. So we're in an aligned body, and we're centered energetically. So these 2 steps are very powerful. If we did that on the mat, if we do this every single day off the mat, it's enough to bring us to a place of personal power and control and awareness. So we're keeping in it. And then that's our ground. when the body is aligned, when the breath is aligned, what's going to happen to the mind? And of course, monkey mind works in its monkey ways. There will constantly be all sorts of distractions, but we'll be able to see them. And I have a great monkey mind. My monkey is a circus monkey, like jumping around, grabbing everything, super distracted. But in those moments of being centered physically and energetically, my mind comes to stillness as well. I find that space between my thoughts. I find that space between the sensations. I see where my thoughts are going. I see my distractions. And again, in my physical practice, it's seeing when I might be going too much into a posture and bringing my body out of its strong alignment, just because the shape sometimes looks good. But also in life, it's about staying centered and grounded in that place of awareness. It's an empowered awareness. It's not just, oh, I know this. No, I know this, and I choose what to do with what I know. So from that place, we went on to moving deeper into our breath, focusing on the inhale and the spaciousness that followed. And in that beautiful spaciousness, it's like from the pose perspective, any posture we did today, we have our grounding, and then we're opening up the space. So we placed our ground physically and energetically. We centered ourselves, and then we opened up a bit more space. And in that spaciousness, there's a lightness to it. There's more space. There's more there's more energy to it, and that energy comes in an ever-flowing way. So when we tap into that spaciousness, it's like, whoa, the energy is rising. And we get to a pause at the end of the exhale, and it's where the energy goes, whoo, I am radiating that energy. So I'm raising the energy, and then I'm radiating it. And it's like seeping into the body, it's seeping into the mind, and the practice becomes effortless. Physically effortless and ever-flowing in power. And it's on the mat, we feel that because we reach that point where there's a switch from the physical effort to the energetic effort. And when that switch is flicked, we go, woohoo, let's go. So we become lighter in our bodies, we become more open in our bodies, we become naturally aligned, we work from the inside out. And it's the same with our practice of the mat. Imagine if you stayed in that place of radiating power. Again, it's you're filling up your room. You're an empowered presence, but you're a light presence. You don't have to prove to anyone, that you're standing your ground. People will feel it. People will know it. You will feel it. You will know it. And you can only imagine from that place, everything that you do, everything that you say, everything that you work with has a different outcome, because it's powered by your true energy. So moving on from that, we layered lightness. And lightness is a great one to layer because it's in us all the time. How many times do we actually bring it to the fore? I find it to be one of the most underrated qualities in our lives. Being light in yourself, being light in your power. Being light in your power is being effortlessly powerful. It's not being low in your power, it's being effortlessly powerful. You don't need to do anything. the energy that you're channeling that's powering you through. That was our final theme that we did last week, and I'm going to link it below. So in this progression, from the ground to opening up space, to radiating power, to bringing lightness to it, we discover, we notice, we explore certain parts of our bodies, certain parts of our breath, certain parts of our mind that have never been brought to the fore. And it's a little bit like a treasure chest. So you tap into your treasure chest, your solar plexus, your core. There's so many things that you find there. And it's a beautiful exploration, and it's a beautiful connection. And it's at the end of it, you wake up and you're like, I am awesome. And I hope you had that feeling today. Let me know how you experience it. And as always, it's a pleasure and a privilege. So thank you guys. I'll see you next week for a new course.